What's up, guys? I'm out here at Freedom Park in Charlotte. People riding their bikes, running, kids playing, having picnics. Pretty nice to see people still living their life, because if you live behind your TV screen or your Facebook feed, mainstream media, social media, whatever, you wouldn't think that this is what the world looks like. So it's nice to get back out in nature, see humans, breathe in the fresh air, get some sunlight, vitamin D. I highly encourage it. The reason I'm making this video is because I've received several messages in the past few weeks about how certain people like my messages about spirituality and breath work and my fitness or any uplifting content that I've posted. But is it really necessary to talk about conspiracies and your political views and other hot button issues? So I thought about it, and then I received another message saying, Mac, aren't you trying to build a breathwork business? This isn't your audience. You should know your audience if you're trying to do that. And that's when I decided, fuck that. Let's talk about it all. This is the time to talk about it all. You know, too often we only want to talk about the easy conversations or the uplifting messages, but it's time to have those hard conversations. That is a part of what shadow work is. I've talked about shadow work in videos in the past, and it's essentially making yourself conscious of those subconscious beliefs or harder personality traits or just things that aren't easy to look at or become aware of. And that's happening on an individual level for us, but also on a collective level. And what I mean on the collective level is the reason why racism's coming up this year, and the reason why corruption in our government's coming up this year, or human trafficking is coming up this year, is because those shadow sides of what's been going on in the world are finally coming up to be dealt with and figured out. Even if you're not in line with that spiritual side of what's been happening in 2020, you have to acknowledge that the energy's intense and you can feel the change and you can see some of those things coming up. I want to draw attention too on how the narratives are being so curated and so manipulated to only fit one side. And this isn't a video to make you change who you want to vote for, because I'm sure with 2 weeks away, you probably already know. But it is a video to encourage you to think about it a little bit deeper. Why would the tax returns of Donald Trump be circulated like wildfire when they are from an anonymous source that can't be named? Okay, they are spreading like crazy on Twitter and Facebook and any mainstream narrative. But the minute that the roles are reversed and the former vice president and current Democratic presidential nominee's son is caught bribing foreign government for American influence, these are matters of national security. They have photos of him in these situations that are literally blackmail of what could be our future president. But that's besides the point. I mean, Twitter did put out a statement saying the reason they didn't run with that story is because they don't spread information on claims that could have been found through hacked information or contained trade secrets. How do you think the other information would have been found? The Trump tax returns, you don't think that would have been hacked material from their anonymous source? It's enough to make you question. If you're really for censorship of any kind, I would love to know why. And I'm open to having those conversations. And you know, just yesterday, one of the White House medical advisors tweeted a statement saying that masks aren't as effective as what we once thought. His entire Twitter account got deleted. I don't care which side of the political spectrum you stand on. We should be able to have multiple perspectives from multiple doctors. Censorship's never really the answer for that. It makes you really question why, if you're not in agreement with one narrative, you're going to get shut down, whereas if you praise the other, it just will circulate like crazy. If you would have told me 4 years ago, especially 2 years ago, a year ago even, that my political views would be where they are now versus then, I really would have told you were crazy. I would have bet you $1 million that would have never happened. And I could spit off all kinds of statistics and facts on why I believe the way I do, but that's not going to change your opinion. Just really consider if you think you're part of resistance, or if you think you're part of this change, and your changing efforts, your whatever you're behind, is funded by or supported by large corporations, celebrities, mainstream media is all about it, you're really not part of a resistance. You're being played. We're all being played, really. One other topic I'll talk about, which, let's go for it, QAnon. Everyone wants to talk about QAnon now. If you learn what that is from the mainstream media, what you would think is that it's this super right-wing conspiracy theory that Democratic candidates in the party is this cannibalistic, human trafficking, child sacrificing, whatever ring. That's not said once in any of these Q drops. And admittedly enough, I think they're super interesting. Go look at them for yourself. Don't learn about what it is from what the mainstream narrative tells you it is. Look at them. It's simply information. There's not a sign up. There's not a club. Q isn't a person. They don't have meetups. Check it out. And then you can discern for yourself whether or not this is interesting information or if it's completely, fake news. Just think deeper about things. I know I'm this crazy conspiracy theorist now. I just heard a mom yell at her 2 kids for running to the playground without their masks on. We're outside, guys. Use critical thinking. I just went to Starbucks, and admittedly I don't wear a mask either. So I walked in, and normally they don't say anything. This time, sir, your mask. I said, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot one. Do you guys have any? Yes, sir, your masks. She couldn't even get her thought out without pointing me to the disposable masks they had to the side. And that's the type of fear that's being invoked in people. Get outside, breathe some fresh air in, turn off the TV, turn off your Facebook, and think for yourself. You're safe to question everything. It's super important right now. The next 2 weeks are going to be intense for a lot of people, and then deciding on who wins this election is going to be intense for a lot of other people. I would say be kind to one another, but at the same time, have those conversations. Don't turn the other cheek. The only time I'm going to discourage you from having those conversations if someone comes out of left field and calls you a fucking idiot, like whatever the guy told me last week. But if you can have the high-level, educated, respectful conversations, go for them. Like I said, get outside, breathe some of this air in. I love you more than you know, and we'll talk soon.